the voice of Nassau Community College.
It's all I listen to.
90.3 WHPC.
WHPC HD, Garden City.
Available on the iHeartRadio app.
Oh, yeah. Back in the New York groove. After spending a weekend down in Baltimore.
The Charm City.
The Charm City.
Is this the Ace Frehley version?
It's Ace Frehley, man.
Nice.
You know there's an original?
Nice.
You know there's an original?
Of course I do. That's why I said this is the Ace Frehley version.
You don't even know the original version. You don't even know the original one was. Anyway, spending time in Baltimore at our cousin Corey's wedding, marrying the wonderful Allie. And
epic wedding, by the way.
Epic wedding.
Epic.
And, you know,
As the kids say.
You get the Leonards down together. You know alcohol will be drank.
Is it drunk or drank? I think it's drunk in that
drunk,
sense.
Whatever. Oh, my God. I had a good time.
I had a good time.
Oh, I did shots for the first time in a long time. The cousins love the shots, man. Cousins love
the younger cousins love the shots.
Yeah, well, the
older
ones.
cousins are.
They've already been down that road a couple of times.
They like their beer.
They've been down that road 100 times.
And cousin Danny's watching. He's on the Facebook Live.
He's all right. He said he would, cousin Danny. He's very impressed. He's the only one who asked about our show.
There you go.
All the other cousins like, oh, who cares? Then I tried using the podcast term. With the younger cousins.
Podcast them, exactly.
That's where the young kids are now these days.
That's what they do.
And they didn't care. They said, oh, who cares about the podcast? Anyway, podcast is on Spreaker.com, turns into iTunes later on. This is from the Press Box, right here on 90.3 WHPC. I am Rob Leonard. Joining me, of course, is my co-host and brother, award-winning sports writer Tim Leonard, as we talk sports every Monday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. 2 minutes late this morning. And
That's
thank you,
right.
Joe, for playing that great song by Machine Gun Kelly.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. So
Joe, I mean.
Joe, of course. So anyway, let's talk sports. As always, there's always a lot to talk about. I was going to start with the Mets manager, but let's get a little
Let's
more.
go Mets. We can go Mets.
No,
Mets
I
manager.
actually think
That's some good news and there's some topical news.
But I
don't know where you're starting.
I think the Yankees are the better story.
Well, either way.
Because even though they didn't make it to the World Series, everything this playoff season for the Yankees was gravy for the fans and for the team. This team, of course, which I predicted would go further than you did.
Is this the last time we're going to hear this prediction or this comment
it's the
about
last time I can use it?
How
really.
Outstanding your prediction was?
I predicted, for those who don't know, at the beginning of the season, Timmy said, well, I think it's going to be more of a rebuilding season. And I said, no, I saw a couple of exhibition games. I actually think they have something this year, and they go further than what you said.
Well, I mean, my actual prediction was that they would be very similar to last year's team. And that the wild card would be something of a struggle. Maybe they get it, maybe they won't. But the most important thing this year was to allow the prospects and the rookies another year to develop and another year to improve. Obviously, the Yankees far exceeded those expectations and the expectations of most people, I think. So you would have definitely been in the minority with your prediction as far as the Yankees being or having the kind of season that they had this season. And I mean, let's face it, anybody who told you that they expected the Yankees to get within one game of the World Series this season, it was either a delusionally optimistic Yankees fan or just, I don't know, was just trying to throw something up on the wall and see if it sticks. Because no reasonable baseball observer could have foreseen what happened with the Yankees this season.
No, not at all. And I think, I joke about how I predicted because let's be honest, you know much more about the Yankees than I do.
This is true.
But I really thought they had a good team. It seems more like the '96 team than the '78 team. Though the '78 teams, let's be honest, that team was not as didn't have as much swagger as the '86 Mets, but they would be a great competition between those two.
Would have liked to have seen those two teams be able to play each other.
Yeah, that would be
in their
cool.
primes. That would be a fun series. Fun series for New York.
That would be a very fun season. So the Yankees, hey, go down to the seventh game. There was CC had 0-0, a tie as 0-0 at the time, and then all of a sudden, his his streaks had to end sometime, and it sort of ended at the wrong time there.
Well, Evan Gaddis hit the. And this was the crazy part for me because as big of a Yankee fan as I am, we were at the aforementioned wedding of Corey and Allison.
Don't say what happened.
Well, no, that was cousin Brian. That wasn't me. I wasn't the guy with the phone and the TV, and I'm not that technologically advanced. But cousin Brian, I'm still not sure.
Think everyone knew.
Yeah, they knew.
I don't know.
Everybody was flocking over the table. But, cousin Brian had the phone on and had the game on his phone. So
well, what did I say?
We were able to monitor
a situation
things a little
like
bit.
that. You put it on every 15, 20 minutes, and then you say, okay. And then
then
you go around telling people, oh, it's 0-0.
But we didn't. I mean, it got to the point where we didn't need to watch after Evan Gaddis hit a solo home run that gave the Astros the lead. Then Altuve hit another home run, and it was just like a little slap shot to right. But
yeah, that was
it cleared the fence.
That
so
was
that's all that matters.
Homer, man. That was one of those that was a homer?
Yeah, and especially a dude that little. Yeah. I mean, when he just kind of reached out and slapped it a little bit, and it's like, well, wait a minute, he's a little dude. Yeah. The ball's not supposed to go that far when a little dude slaps at it like that. But once that happened, I was just after that I really didn't watch the game very much. I was out. I was getting drinks. I was socializing with the family. I was trying to enjoy the wedding, and I figured I'll just go back every once in a while and take a look or check my phone and see hey, has the score changed at all. And it went from 3-0 to 4-0, and I was just kind of like, all right, when are we going to get to the bullpen?
Out of all the games, that was the only one that I thought, because I was like you, I sort of walked away after a while.
Yeah. Better things to do, unfortunately. But
yeah, but I also felt that the game was over, which I don't think I felt with the other games when they were
didn't really feel the game was over because I kept waiting. It's like, all right, when are they going to get to the bullpen? It's not if. I figured, all right, when is it going to happen?
Yes.
And it never happened.
For Game 7, you have to go to the bullpen.
So
earlier than you would, even if you are a person like myself who believes the pitchers go 7 innings.
Well, you don't necessarily have to go earlier because if your starter is putting goose eggs up, you go with him.
Right.
And especially if you have a 4-run lead, there's no real reason to go to the bullpen until your starter gets in trouble.
Well, you're talking about the Astros.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Yankees.
No, I mean, CeCe had to get pulled when he was pulled.
Of course.
I certainly didn't disagree with Girardi's move because CeCe just didn't have it. And I expected a better outing from him, I'll be honest. But that situation being what it is, you can't afford to give CeCe the time to try to find himself because if 3-0 turns into 6 or 7-0, then your season's over in the 5th inning, as opposed to you still have a chance maybe to come back and win the game when it's the 7th or 8th inning. So and that's the way Girardi's managed in the playoffs the entire time he's been a Yankee manager. You can't let things get out of hand.
Right.
And he didn't, to his credit, but it just didn't work out. The Astros pitched well. You have to tip their hat. And I look at it this way: you have the Dodgers in the National League; they're the National League representative in the World Series, and you have the Astros in the American League. And to me, if that's not the two best teams in baseball this season, well, maybe the Indians were a good team or a better team, but out of those three teams, 2 of those should be in the World Series this season. And I'm a big proponent of that. I'm still not crazy about the wild card and having that team get to the World Series because it has happened in the past in recent years. But I like it when, especially in a baseball season, which is the definition of marathon rather than sprint as far as sports goes. I like it when the teams that have proven themselves to be the best teams over the course of the season actually do get to the World Series, and the playoffs don't trip them up. So, I have friends of mine, talking all kinds of nonsense and, is Tim Leonard on suicide watch? The Yankees lost. You know what? I couldn't be happier with this season.
I know.
Everything the Yankees gave us this season, as far as I'm concerned, was gravy. This is a team that pretty much, more or less, showed us they are a year ahead of schedule. And I was going through the prospect list last night because I was going through and I was like, all right, well, what do the Yankees have? What do they? What's the future looking like? And I just put this together. All right. The heart of their batting order for probably at least the next 5 seasons. All right? Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Greg Bird. That's a 3-4-5 right there that's homegrown. Do you know how much teams have to pay for 3, 4, 5 hitters?
Right.
For the next 3 years minimum, the Yankees are going to be paying these guys next to nothing because they don't have to pay them anything. It's not, they'll be going to arbitration at some point, but free agency is so many years away for these guys.
Sure.
So that's cost controlled right there for 3 spots that usually cost teams probably in the neighborhood of $70 million. All right? So when you look at it that way, and you look at what the Yankees have, plus you add to that Clint Frazier, who is a year or so behind those guys, but I wouldn't be surprised if he starts somewhere in the outfield next year. I mean, these are some of the decisions the Yankees are going to have to make in the offseason, but that's another homegrown. I'm going to call him a homegrown guy because they got him in the Andrew Miller trade, and he's been in the minor leagues, but that's what he was acquired for, is to be that guy. All right? Luis Severino not only turned into a serviceable pitcher this year, he turned into an ace. He's going to finish third in the Cy Young voting. I'm telling you this right now. He's going to finish third. All right? Jordan Montgomery. We talked about him in spring training because I saw a couple of starts that he had, and I'm like, you know what? This kid actually knows how to pitch. And I'm not saying Jordan Montgomery is going to be great or anything, but you know what? 5th starters aren't easy to find either. And again, cost controlled. So if Jordan Montgomery next season comes in and throws 180 innings and wins 12 games, I'm thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. Because here's a guy doing it for $550,000.
Right.
As opposed to, what did Braves pay Bartolo Colon to be a 5th starter? Is it $12 million or whatever it was? So that's what you're looking at. Plus,
it's seemingly, I think it was like 7 both for 2 years, or
no, he signed a deal. It was like, I think it was 2 years, $24 million or something. Like that. It was I mean, I can't fault them, the Braves, for doing it because look at what Bartolo had done last year for the Mets. His ERA was like 3.4. Yeah. So he had numbers. He had the justification was there to sign him, but obviously that failed miserably.
Right. We'll see if Bartolo stays with the Twins, by the way.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. And the other part that you're looking at here is now look at what the Yankees have. All right, that's 6 guys or 7 guys right there. 6 guys. Now you have Gleyber Torres, who MLB.com just recently re-ranked the minor league prospects.
Right.
Gleyber Torres, number 1. All right, that's how highly regarded this kid is. Not number 1 in the Yankee system, although he's that too. Number 1 in all of baseball. So I don't want to call any prospect a sure thing, but as far as baseball observers go, Gleyber Torres is as sure a thing as there is in baseball right now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
All right. Plus, all right, Chance Adams is a pitcher who if you follow Yankees minor leaguers, this is a name that you've heard. This kid is pretty much ready for the major leagues right now. So that's another piece that should be part of the rotation next year. Or if he's not, if the Yankees decide to re-sign CeCe, is a guy who can be ready if somebody gets hurt, or if the Yankees want to sign CeCe to a 1-year deal and then maybe transition him. I mean, I was talking to a friend of the show, John Valenti, on Facebook last night, and he doesn't want the Yankees. He's just like, don't sign CeCe. He's very much against signing CeCe because he sees him as like a 50 or 60 pitch pitcher these days, and that's 4 or 5 innings at the most.
I see CeCe as your guy to keep around. At least one more season.
I think they should. I think
they'll sign him for 2 to make him feel.
No,
happy.
they won't. They won't. I'm telling you right now.
There'll be an option somewhere along the line. No,
I think
he leaves.
I think. Well, he leaves if somebody else gives him 2 years.
Right.
But
I just said that.
I think.
I just said
no.
that.
You said a year with an option. But I
said a year with the option. If he doesn't, he leaves.
I don't even give him the option because it's what's the point? I don't see the point of the option. You make CeCe like a Hiroki Kuroda or somebody like that, where it was a year-to-year thing. But I tell CeCe, look, I'll give you 1 year for $10 million, and that's it. I mean, the Yankees have enough options.
But I would take 2 for 15.
No, I wouldn't even do it. You can't give him 2 because it blocks the younger pitchers. If you give him 2 for 15, you have to have him that second year.
You cut a deal with the second year.
You can't do it that way.
Well, we'll see.
So, Cousin Danny says your mic's not on, by the way.
It is on.
All right.
He can't hear me because the Facebook.
Oh,
mic
the
is next to
Facebook
you.
Live. Yeah, sorry,
You're-
cousin.